He that is faithful with the little shall be faithful with much, and he that is unfaithful with a little shall not be faithful with much. Instead of waiting on the right moment until everything aligns to start that content, start the business, execute on that plan, take the tools that God has blessed you with now to execute on that. You have a device in your hand right now that is capable of bringing your vision to life, telling your story. You don't need to be at a level yet where you have enough money to get the cameras, get the equipment. You can do it all with your phone. If you can think it and visualize it, then you can achieve it. When you show God that you are faithful with the little, He's going to give you the heart's desires, and He's going to bless you with everything that you ask for, plus more. It's a matter of obedience. If I'm being completely honest, when I went through that season of isolation, when I first started this journey and gave my life to the Most High, I loved that isolation period so much. It was no distractions, no outside noise. I started to understand a lot more about spiritual warfare, and the word says in Proverbs 3:5, lean not into your own understanding. And what I originally wanted to do, God put trading in my life. He was removing people from my life. I was having so much peace. And my plan was to learn how to trade, become super successful at it, and just go ghost, travel, be somewhere excluded. Nobody knows about me. Nobody knows anything about me, and just take care of the people around me and bless, those around me. And God had other plans for me. I never knew that just picking up the camera and pressing record would impact so many lives and put me in this position now. This is something I didn't want it to do. And I've observed that, and the Most High has shown me this, man, is when you walk outside of your calling, you will never have peace. And when I was trying to do everything that didn't align with what He wanted me to do, I could never have peace. There was always something happening. And then I started being obedient, and it'd be seasons where I was obedient for a little bit, and then I was leaning back into my own understanding. And during those small seasons, I've observed that you gotta stick to it long enough to actually reap the benefits. The word talks about that. Be not weary in well doing, for in due season you shall reap if you faint not. And that's the thing. When I first started, I would start and I wasn't going long enough. I would go for a little bit of a time, then stop. I didn't go long enough to actually feel how amazing it was. And it wasn't until I said, you know what, I'm gonna just go all in on this. And I started being more consistent, started posting more. I started recording myself when I first started calisthenics. And those videos that I had was just to critique myself and get better. And I just decided one day to just start posting it. And I would have never imagined that now people are inspired by me. Not just online, but the fact that I would be out in public and random places and people would be like, yo, you're that dude from the park. You're that dude from here. Yo, I've been hearing about you. Yo, I'm truly grateful, and I got to give all the credit to the Most High, because in all the things that you do, acknowledge the Lord and He should direct your paths. I would have never been able to be an inspiration to others. I would have never been able to impact others and change lives if it wasn't for God. I'm just a vessel, and just documenting and sharing the testimony of what life looks like when you obey the Lord, and share the testimony of what life looks like when you don't obey the Lord and don't walk in your calling. Even when it comes to trading, the way that it's so beautiful. I just give God thanks, and nobody can do this but Him. The way that God does things in my life, and the reason why I have this so much love and faith in this relationship with God, is because of the things that He's done in my life. He does things in ways that that only He can do that. No man can do the things that He do in the way that He did it. When I first started my business, I'll never forget it. It was during the season, because God, He led me up and He builded me towards that. He planted the seed. I was a part of another business, and I was doing calls, doing webinars with them, and I never thought about, doing my own thing. I never wanted to do that. It was never my role to do webinars and things like that. I was just supposed to be a community manager. I started doing webinars, and people were just loving it, and people were telling me God was using those people to plant those seeds. People were saying, yo, Sir, when you start your own thing one day, let me know. I'm going to be a part of it. Let me know. And I'm like, all right. And I'll never forget when I departed from that company. It was a season, and it was this opportunity. God will always test you before that level up. I'll never forget this. I told myself, as time went on, I said, you know what? I'm going to do my own thing. And then eventually get to the point where, I'll do my own business, and I'll start that maybe years down the line. But for right now, I'm going to do my own thing. And I'll never forget, I got that same business. I got an opportunity. They said, yo, like, you could be the community manager, a part of this company. Would you like this offer? The pay was good. Opportunity was beautiful. And I said no. I already knew, and it's so beautiful how God works. I made the decision shortly before that. It was, I want to say, a few days before I got that opportunity. And I said, you know what? From now on, I'm going to do my own thing. The next business is going to be my own. And in my mind, I was like, yo, I'm going to wait till I get this amount of profits, this amount of level once I start doing this, and then I'll start a business. And then a few days later, I got that opportunity. And I said no. I said, nah, I'm going to decline it. Even though that was guaranteed pay, good pay, I would have been good. You know what I'm saying? I would have been really good. I declined that. And I'll never forget it, man. It was, because when that happened, it's so beautiful. It was during the season where I went ghost. I was already ghost from social media for about 2 months and some change. And shortly after I declined that offer, I got a random text on Instagram. Yo, Sir, I've been really struggling, really going through it, and I really love for you to be my mentor. That was just so random to me. And I really sat with that for a minute, and I'm like, how is it that this person just hit me up out of the blue? It's not like I was posting content, trading content, or anything. This person randomly hit me up and said, yo, it doesn't matter, you name the price, and I want you to be my mentor. I knew that was God. And I said, okay, I'll do it. So beautiful. A day or two later, within that same week, somebody else hit me up again. Then another person hit me up. And then God made me remember that time where it was like, yo, remember when all those people said, if you start your own thing, let me know? And I reached out to those people, and those people were like, yo, I was waiting for you to start your own thing. I thought you was going to start it sooner. I wish you would have been started it. And those people joined. And it's like now the impact, the lives, listening to the testimonies of how those people's changed and how they're doing things on their own. And me being the vessel, God just used me to help them. And now they're doing beautiful things. It's so beautiful how God works. It was an opportunity, right? The one that came to me, I cannot make this up. The one that came to me, bro. Let me make sure this is recorded because I'm about to go in. He was the first one. And he had a baby on the way. He had a baby on the way in about, I think, 6 months time from then. And I'll never forget. We locked in, and then he hit me up afterwards. He did his thing, had his baby and everything. He said he was good. He's providing for his baby now. He's being a good father towards his baby, and so small things that makes the biggest impact. The credit and the glory does not go to me. This was never my plan that I wanted to do. I wanted to be Ghost. So anything that happens of God using me to impact others, he has to get the credit for it. Because if it was up to me, I did not think of this. I did not say I want to do this. I never wanted to be somebody on social media. I never wanted to start a business. Because I knew with trading is just me. And I don't need to rely on anybody. And that just made me so amazed. Never wanted to do this, but God said, I got something better for you. And that's why every time people just always ask me, it's like, yo, sir, how do you do this? It's not me. It's all God. He is the one that done all this in my life. He's the one that's using me. The word talks about it. Our body is just the temple for the Holy Spirit to dwell in. It says, you were bought with a price. My body is not my vessel. It's not mine. God uses me in the way that he does. I just have to be obedient. Lean out to your own understanding. I can't love the things of the world. I can't be a friend of the world, because being a friend of the world and caring about what others think, that blocks my blessings, and that blocks me from being used to save souls. God could be, trying to get me to do things, just like what's the story? Jonah. God told Jonah to go tell the city that he was going to destroy them because of their wickedness. And if Jonah would have been disobedient, that's why God put him through that affliction. Because if Jonah would have been disobedient, that entire city would have been destroyed. And Jonah went to do what God told him to do. He preached the word, and those people went on a dry fast, even the animals. And they all repented. And God turned away his wrath from that city. One man was used to save an entire city. And God is using me for whatever way that he sees fit. And I'm just truly blessed and grateful that he's directing my life. And I will not be the same person that I am today, nowhere near. I'll be in so much darkness, so much wickedness, so much evil and corruption. And the Most High saved me, and I can never turn back.